Hello, and welcome, my Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers. Welcome to our 8-card draw. What do we need shadow read from this full to new July 2023, full moon to new moon? I am your reader, Mars conjunct Leo rising, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. Got Mal? I do. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Production since 1998, 25 years in service, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. It's available on Kindle. There's a version of it available on Kindle. There's a link in the description box. It's broken down into chakra chapters. There are chakras in this reading quite a bit. You might find it helpful. The original version, though, the original version of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, which is way more colorful than the way edited Kindle version is over on Patreon. Some of my subscribers get that depending on their level of subscription, where they jump in. But all of my subscribers get 3 benefits in common. They get the daily check-ins, an unlisted YouTube live stream link pretty much every single morning, where they chat with me about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications, always ending with a prayer, a blessing, a little something to send us on our way. Best way for me to start my day, considering what else I gotta do as president of the Drawing the blah blah blah. They also get all the extended readings, all the part 2s to the part 1s. No extended for this one, but there are a lot of them, and they're juggernauts, and they're all relationship based. And they get a significant discount. Private sessions with me, we'll talk about that at the end of the video, because I want to get this reading under my belt. Being a Leo rising, I apply my 5-card draw waxings, beautiful Nutifuls, and my 8-card draws for myself, because I might as well, because I put enough time and energy into them, I might as well have a look. And they seem to be working for me. So if you want to check it out, go check out Patreon. I love it so very much, and I highly recommend it for my creative friends out there. But if you do want a deeper dive, we're doing 2 7-day free trials for Seeker and Human, the first 2 tiers of subscription. Yeah, check the link, sniff the menu, and if you like, come Patreon on Patreon, because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, and you can just call me now. And this series, I've been keeping my sense of humor for these shadow reads. Had a lovely vacation. Went to the Pride Parade in New York City. Had a Brooklyn bar crawl. I'm good. I had a lovely time. So I am creatively charged and refreshed, staying in my beloved Bushwick. Lovely place to hang out. So let's do some explanation for the new Leos and crosswatchers, and we'll get down to the divination. 8-card draw. 1 card from 8 different decks, getting you clues, tips, and hints about absolutely anything. We're applying this to a 2-week period, a full to new moon, a waning side of the cycle, to help us let go, release, transform. In the language of spiritual alchemy, shift our lead to gold, removing the 3 symbolic atoms between the 2 on the periodic table of elements. There are chakras involved. Like I said, we got lots of oracles on the table in this 8-card draw, because when the moon rides at her peak, we're starting at the full moon here. We'll talk about that in a bit. When the moon rides at her peak, any heart's desire seek. I'm going to nail my 5-card draws that day, probably with a cup of coffee. We'll talk about it. And then you wait 3 days, right? 3 days into the full moon and 3 days out. Then usually the shadow work hits, because do you want to wait for the dark moon the 3 days before the new moon in Cancer, in this case, or it to all hit at once? That's what I'm saying. Stitching time saves 9, blah, blah, blah. So let's take a look-see here. Full moon in Capricorn, Monday, July 3rd, 7:39 a.m. Eastern. So essentially 8 a.m. I'm up before that anyway. I am going to cast my 5-card draw, Seeds of Fire, blah, 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 my heart's desire spells, etc., with a cup of coffee, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn rules coffee beans. Done. Right? Little potion magic goes a long way first thing in the morning. And then enjoy that, because then we've got the 2 weeks following, bringing us to the new moon in Cancer, Monday, July 17th. So yes, a new moon on Monday. Let it play out in your head. 2:32 p.m., a little early in the afternoon for lighting torches and waving them for the new moon on Monday, but we'll see how it goes. In between those 2 dates of note, Mars is going into Virgo, July 10th, and Mercury is going into Leo On the 11th, the next day, other than retrogrades already in play, nothing is turning direct. So it's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs. Your sun might have a different thing to let go and release and transform than your moon, etc. And cross-watchers have the opportunity to get insight, understanding, sympathy, and empathy for the Leo they are cross-watching for. And if they apply perhaps the affirmation from the chakra reading cards, or the guidance from the whispers of Lord Ganesh, or the magic of the Divine Animals Oracle, the message from the Archangel Fire Oracle, or the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra, they will not just be helping the Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign they are cross-watching for, but the entire Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign collective of the Leos, including myself. So thank you in advance. Let's do this. The shift from all that explanation, which I got to do and I'm glad to do, to the divination, which I am heavily contracted and essentially born to do. That shift happens in the still point. Shall we? Please take a nice deep breath. Let's shift. Still point. Pantheons override. Using the Caroline Mace archetype cards, I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for us Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and our cross-watchers. What is the dominant archetype in the 8th chakra, sending down the codes to all the other chakras, shifting what we attract and what we repel in each chakra's electromagnetic field, so we have the opportunity to no longer delay what cannot be prevented in our sacred contracts. Alchemizing our lead to gold, our shadow to light, our pain to peace, our toxic to healthy, our fear to love, this full to new. I feel you. July 2023. Oh, the advocate archetype, an action family archetype. That is lovely. Well, if the archetype sounds lovely, be sure its shadow attribute, its lead, is just as toxic and vice versa. Written on the card here is the shadow attribute, the light attribute. I call this the lead, the gold, those three atoms in between those three. So the lead, embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. And I would say personal gain alone, right? It's an ethics thing. Look at me crossing my solar plexus, right? You know, it's like, okay, well, but what's in it for me is a little bit different than is this equitable, right? But embracing negative causes, it's on the planet. If it's on the planet, it's in the collective, and so we have the opportunity to heal this. The light attribute, the gold we're shooting for, inspires you to put compassion into action. Way more heart-centered. Courage, more courage. All right, so in terms of bringing that into the world through action, let's look at the next 4 chakras down using the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, a goddess feminine deck for the feminine energy, the internal, all 4 of them chakras all at once. And if it's a major arcana, it is all 4 of them at once. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Goddesses override. As I call upon my beloved goddesses of fire. That's different. The sign of Leo and powers of the south, please, beloved goddesses, solar goddesses of fixed fire. 1 card in clarity for us Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video, experiencing this reading. What is your guidance, your grace, your love, your wisdom, your power? What do we need to be aware of? Heart, third eye crown, internal, internal, to alchemize the advocate, this full to new. Oh, who just got this? Who just got this? Cancer just got this. The Ace of Flames, or in this deck, the One of Flames, would be the Ace of Wands on the inner. And this is definitely maybe something stuck in your throat. It can be equally distributed in all 4 because its creation is the key word. It's that spark. So it could be crown chakra, inspiration, information, choice, decision. What am I going to do with this? Spit, swallow, or chew. Or it could be in the heart, and certainly putting compassion into action. It could be any and all of that. I will say that it is initiatory, obviously. The beginning, any of the aces are a seed that can be planted. So let's keep going. For a general read, that's too general. So let's look at the lower three chakras, the masculine energy, the yang. With the mythic tarot, lower three chakras are your relationships in the physical world, you looking at yourself from the outside in, you looking from the inside out at people, places, and things. And one would think, because it's an action family archetype, who, where, when, etc., action is being taken for or with. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. My gods, please override. As I call upon my gods of fire, the sign of Leo, powers of the south, please, beloved gods of fixed fire, very solar indeed. One card in clarity for us Leo collective, sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading. What do we need to be aware of outside in, inside out, lower three chakra dynamics, relationships in the physical world, so that we can wisely and well alchemize the advocate archetype, this from Shadow Light led to Gold Paint to Peace, this full to new. Three of Wands, good. Three of Wands, good. Now, a lot of fire so far. That's the end of the tarot. Just two decks here we're drawing from, but I would say definitely we are pausing. I would say very solar plexus, checking the ethics. Check the ethics in the solar plexus. Your honor code is stored right there. That's why when it goes, don't do it. Right? Second chakra is different. That's a relationship to another person or thing. And root chakra is fight, flight, freeze, flee, all of that. Fee-fi-fo. Fun. So this is absolutely a solid foundation of desire, right? You've made the choice of the two, so somewhere in between this on the inner and this on the outer, a choice had to have been made. Or this new foundation has brought forth a new inspiration, a creation within you. Certainly waiting for your ships to come in is very traditional. Rider weight based here, but there is something about taking a little break at the 3, going into the 4, which is, rest, sort of setting up shop, but just reevaluating really quickly, like what is most important to you here in your physical world, in your gut, and particularly how you want to present yourself with this, not faking it, not posing. Posing, you're just frozen. To put your compassion into action here, you might have many opportunities to do so. So we switched out a couple of cards and decks this time around. The Blessed Bee, which was the last card down from Lucy Cavendish. We brought in the chakra reading cards by Rachel Sharman, and now the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra is our last card down. I work with the 8 chakra system. Caroline Mace, Anatomy of the Spirit, they work the 9, including the Earth Star underneath the ground. And this is for the higher selves of all involved. So one would think an advocate, there are other people involved, even if it's animal advocacy, advocating for the planet, what have you, fill in the blank. There are other people involved. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Higher selves, override. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved. 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. What is your guidance, your grace, your wisdom, your power? You're giving us a clue, a tip, a hint here. Which chakra to look at, to focus on, to perhaps do a little research on, and maybe bring some compassion to help us alchemize the shadow to light, lead to gold, the pain to peace, the toxic to healthy, in the advocate archetype, this full to new. Well, that looks like fun. Determination. Oh, that looks very solar plexus. Determination, salmon swimming up the stream. What some people will do for a hookup. Remember AOL chat rooms, anybody? No, neither do I. Yeah, let's move on. I'm going to read this one right from the deck. That threw me a little bit. Them salmon. Very fishy. Very fishy about this card. Definitely solar plexus chakra, so let's keep it going with the Leo vibe here. The solar plexus, card number 16, determination. You've called this card into your awareness today as a reminder of the power and importance of determination. This powerful energy is calling you to align with it as you bring out the determination that lies within you. Everything at some point requires that extra energy to push it to the next stage of creation. Determination and will are the keys to amplifying your desired outcome at this time. We're giving Leo's fixed fire permission to be stronger in their will and their determination. This must be important. Well, advocation and putting compassion into action. Yeah, I would agree. You may have been working hard on a certain project and have come to a standstill. You may have doubts, and the negative thoughts may be overshadowing your dreams. It is natural to have doubts. However, pulling this card is a sign that it's time to get focused and determined. Fixed fire, Leo, we're there. Allow the fire in your belly to rise as you bring forth the energy required to move to the next stage in your manifestation. It's time to be focused and clear on your outcome. What is it that you would like to create? Creativity, good fortune, 5th house, Leo. Boom. Do what needs to be done to make it happen. When you feel like all the odds are against you and you want to give up, know that you have the determination to succeed. This powerful energy lives inside you and is ready and waiting for you to surrender to its calling. Call forth the power of determination to once again bring you into alignment with your dreams and desires. It's truly amazing what you can achieve when you put your mind to something and apply determination. This is a great trait of a champion athlete. It's time for you to be a champion and go for what you desire. I have the athlete archetype in the sign of Leo. Oh, our affirmation. I am an unstoppable being of love and determination. Yeah, I kind of sort of am. Hurricane Mal a good chunk of the time. But yeah, why not? I'm into it. Determination. Swim upstream, little fishies. Fishy, 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 fish. Okay, and now for something completely different. With the Monty Python reference there. Let's move to something perhaps a little bit more grounded. Removing obstacles with the whispers of Lord Ganesh. Ganesh, the Hindu elephant-headed god of success, prosperity, remover of obstacles. I've been in a relationship with Ganesh for over 25 years since I started working with the Ashaya monks and their meditation processes. I love Ganesh, and it's always an honor to connect. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Ganesh, please override. As I call upon the beloved Lord Ganesha, remover of obstacles, God of success and prosperity, please, beloved one, what is your guidance, your grace, your love, your wisdom, your power to help us remove the obstacles and alchemize? The advocate archetype from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, your guidance, your wisdom in your oracle message to help us alchemize this and be the best that we can be this full to new July 2023. Fulfillment. Well, it does take perseverance, doesn't it? I mean, not everything has to be climbing Everest, but, you know, fulfillment is usually worth it. Now, this one is, I believe, about education as well. It's about knowledge. It's not just straight up, like, getting what you want, because you have to have the infrastructure to be able to handle what you want, and that is a journey unto itself. Yeah, this one is about knowledge. Now, of course, there he is reading a scroll, right? This is sort of a younger version of Ganesh, I would think, because he's in his student period, his student era. Here he is, card number 6, fulfillment. No matter what you want to do or become, you will achieve more with knowledge. Ace of Flames on the inner, right? This image of Ganesha reading a scroll is a symbol of the importance of education and the pursuit of knowledge. This might mean there is a period of increased study and learning at hand. You may find you want to inquire about a field of study that has been widely explored and choose to go to an experienced teacher to learn more. Look for someone to consult for more information. This may be a counselor, an author, a psychotherapist, or some spiritual advisor. You will discover new skills from this helpful teacher, as they have the wisdom to provide excellent guidance and advice. Keep in mind, there is also a wealth of information at your fingertips in books. Everything you read fills your head with new information, and you never know when it might have a practical use. It's all stored in the subconscious, right? Sometimes you gotta go check stuff out. That's what Google is for, just to remind you. The more knowledge you have, the better equipped you are to tackle any challenge that lies before you. Additionally, knowledge can never be taken from you. No matter what you're longing to do or become, you will benefit from getting more knowledge. Approach this time with great curiosity and an open mind. And I think with determination and knowledge, makes sense, right? So the solar plexus there with fulfillment, I'm going to say solar plexus intuition will tell you when you are about to violate an ethical boundary, your honor code, if it feels off really seriously, particularly because it's personal power, right? Like everybody else in the room could be like, oh no, it's great. And if this says no to you, the answer's no. Or that's the gig, from what I understand. It's taken me on some roads less traveled, that's for sure. Yeah, so, I mean, that makes sense. Fulfillment here as a result of gaining knowledge here. And with that spark of fire on the inner, that does make sense. 3 of Wands. And we would say, okay, now we're waiting. Let's learn. Let's gain some knowledge. And let's talk to the spirit animals and totems with the divine animals. Oracle, everybody has spirit animals and totems. But, you know, we have to acknowledge them when they're there. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call to the beloved pantheons of the animal kingdom, the spirit animals and totems. Ooh, there we go. For the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, signs, and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, totemic override, leave the card in my hand, beloved ones, who walks with us, who swims with us, who flies with us, who crawls with us, giving us the guidance, the grace, the wisdom, the power, the protection, the support, and the oracle message to help us alchemize the advocate from shadow to light, light to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, fear to love, this full to new, butterfly, the soul. Butterfly, the word psyche, where we get the word psychology from, etc., is Greek. It means butterfly as well as the word soul. So this is about a transformation that's happening within us as the soul is integrating the ego with personality in between the two. Egg, caterpillar, cocoon, butterfly. Human, hero, immortal, God, ego, personality, soul, higher self. That's how I do it. I keep it simple, somewhat, with a lot of alliteration. Card number 28. Also, this refers to Psyche of Cupid and Psyche. I mean, there's more in this book that if I read the whole thing. I mean, these readings are pretty long as is, but some of these are really worth it. It's a wonderful book. It really is. So, card number 28, Butterfly, the soul. To experience our full selves, we often go through a difficult period of transformation and growth. Trust what you feel. We all have stages to pass through in life, and not all are easy. Look abroad to where you wish to be, not where you have been. Self-trust and the trust of your partner are necessary for a positive relationship, and that presumes a partnership here, and that ties into the Eros and Psyche myth, a true love story if ever there was one. Alright, butterflies are an ancient... Oh, that's the animal. I want the magic. Yeah, there's a lot in here. Butterfly magic is the key to growth and transformation of the soul. Going through trauma or difficulty helps reveal our true self and grow into the full magnificence of the soul itself. ease doesn't always mean growth. Now, for an advocate, if you've been through something and you're advocating for others, this is saying that you've transitioned to the next phase, right? Whatever that may be, wherever you are. When you need help moving from one life stage to another, then butterfly magic can be useful, although patience is often needed to embody change fully. When you require a dose of beauty, hope, and lightness of spirit, and a reminder to just live your life to the full, then butterfly energy can be just the thing. And I have stuff specifically planted in my garden outside just for butterflies, right? Well, anything else that comes along that's hungry, I suppose. Equal opportunity gardener, I guess. So look, this ups it a notch, because embodying your soul with determination in your solar plexus is taking the personal power of, let's say, the hero on the hero's journey with the immortal soul, integrating that. And of course, any knowledge that you bring in right now is going to be worth it. It may not make sense at the time, but putting compassion into action. I mean, whether it's the Yoga Sutras or, Tibetan Buddhism or whatever core mysticism that has love and compassion in it, I would say it's all about the soul. And you probably got past lives doing it, because why not? Right? Why not? We don't know. I mean, I have my Akashic Records library card reactivated, but still, it's not like I can find proof of that stuff in this world. So we go with it, we keep it light, and we call upon the archangels as needed. The Archangel Fire Oracle. I love this deck. It is my new favorite. Everyone has access to archangels, because your guardian angel is your higher self. It's just been called different things, different lenses to look at the same light. Your then guardian angel higher self belongs to a group, a collective called an archangel, and there are trillions and trillions and trillions in each archangelic form. And then they gang up together and they become the thrones, the powers, the dominions, all the way back to source, where there's just Om and there's no place like it. So everyone has access, but who are you going to call? Ghostbusters? Maybe. But at least we can find out who's waiting in the wings with their billions of wings to fly in and help you do the alchemy if you so choose, because they don't come unless they are asked. Please take a nice deep breath. Still breathe. Archangelic override. Tingles. As I call upon our beloved pantheons of archangels for us beloved Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and our cross-watchers watching this video, drawn to this reading, please, beloved ones, who's waiting in the wings with their wings ready, billions and billions, kind of terrifying at first sight, you get used to it, swooping in to help us alchemize the advocate archetype from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, fear to love, this full to new. Ooh, we got Melchizedek. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, Junvelo Melchizedek, please pick up the courtesy telephone. Yeah, check him out. Yeah. Drunvelo Melchizedek, do your best on that. This is too much math for me, but I took a workshop anyway. Melchizedek is rather quite a very powerful and very well known archangel. Card number 40. They do not put the keywords on here, which I sort of love, so you gotta look it up. This has got so much good info in it. I've learned about a lot of archangels I did not know about, as well as went way deeper into ones I already had relationships with. Are you the last one? Isn't he just the last card in the deck, Melchizedek? Oh, that Melchizedek. Ascension. There's a word with some interesting takes on it. Oh, please. I could tell stories. Wait till that book comes out. Woo! Ooh, the New Age 90s. Ooh, I got stories to tell about people doing the ascending. I was like, if they're the ones ascending, I don't think I want to go. Oh, Melchizedek is the universal logos. Like the president of the universe, he represents the overlighting consciousness of our cosmos. And so he's a bit like the grandfather of the archangels, keeper of the ascension pathway. He acts as a bridge between heaven and earth. Great. So I get to work with Melchizedek in the south for 2 weeks. Now that should be interesting. He acts as a bridge between heaven and earth. who helps us find enlightenment. Let's skip down a bit. Their first encounter with him, the message, beloved, this message comes with confirmation that you have now been initiated into the order of the Melchizedeks. Well, how nice to find out in a YouTube reading, don't you think? You're welcome. An etheric lineage of ancient souls who are returning to Earth to assist with the Ascension. I am with you always. Well, that's nice. I mean, grandfather of the archangels, right? Definitely a Gandalfian vibe there for sure. I'm into it. I mean, it's a lot. But we're talking with, right, the evolution of the soul, the ascension of the soul. I mean, ascension is a problematic word for me because of the toxic behavior I've seen many people, myself included, affix themselves to as a result of trying to attain. It's the ego in control of it, and that's a necessary part of the stage. That's the caterpillar, the spiritual ego, part of just eating everything, right? Just trying to survive, right? But then you go into your cocoon, which is good for shadow time to do, little waning moon vibe, and you raise in vibration. It's an alchemical process. It's just how it works. Do you think I would have written it that way? Look at me. Last card down. I am learning. I have a skill to take shadow raids and make them fun, at least for me. And you know, I'm the one. I'm the one who has to live with myself, huh? Shall we? The Matcon healing mantra. The Ascended Masters of the General Assembly to put it together. So, you know, there's a lot on the table. The mantra might be enough because it usually puts it together rather concisely. Shall we? Last card down. Please take a nice deep breath. So I'm starting to schwitz. Still point. Ascended Masters, please override. So I call upon the Ascended Masters of the General Assembly. Because, I mean, Lord Melchizedek, I mean, he's already in the room. Please, beloved Ascended Masters of the General Assembly, one card in clarity for the Leo Collective. Us, Leo Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, signs of cross-watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, the perfect healing mantra to help us and our cross-watchers alchemize the advocate in the 8th chakra, from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, ace of flames on the inner, 3 of wands on the outer, determination of the solar plexus, removing obstacles and achieving what we're here to achieve with fulfillment through knowledge, with the magic of the butterfly moving us through our life stages as we ascend, if we ask for the help of Archangel Melchizedek, the perfect healing mantra to help us do all this. Shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy. This full to new, July 2023. Rewiring the nervous system, I find strength in surviving my traumas. There you go. There's the shadow work aspect. I've gotten this repeatedly. I've had this deck since it was published in 2018. So here's the thing. Every time you think a pattern of thought, the synapses in your brain wire together. So the more they wire, right? The more they fire, the more those synapses fire, the more they rewire. So there is certainly a mental aspect about this, but all we are ever asked to do, and I'm going to put this on a kind of higher mystical level, as incarnate beings, whatever you want to call yourself, starseeds, it's all the same thing ultimately, right? To get that, all we have to do is survive it. All we have to do is live through it. That's all that's really required of us, and the choices that we make, we're going to learn or not learn. That's the part we're going to learn eventually. Just how many times do we want to keep repeating it? And the repeat of it is not a punishment. That's the ego. I know. But to say, all right, it's the compassionate return of the universe. It's about putting compassion into action, and that is a learning curve. You know it is, particularly if you're angry. Oh, what if this Ace of Fire is that seed of wrath in the heart chakra? I'm not interpreting it that way, but it's still a seed. What do you want to do with it, right? I find strength in surviving my traumas, rewiring the nervous system. This is what gets us out of triggering, but you gotta feel it. You gotta go right for it. It takes a hero. It does. It takes a very, very strong soul, which we all are at core, little by little, to get there. Rewiring the nervous system. I find strength in surviving my traumas. And honey, I've had plenty. When the nervous system is rewired, you're no longer trapped in the memories of your body. Cellular memories, biochemical connections that are based in emotion, that as we release them, they're gone. And then there's the empathic part of it, but that's a tale for another day. You are the courageous hero or heroine of your present reality, honoring every moment of hardship as the means through which your infinite strength and greatest depth of character is revealed. That's the determination of that soul. There it is. There's the mission, should you choose to accept it. As you rewire your nervous system, you're no longer responding to life from the vantage point of your painful past, but instead are open to each encounter being more miraculous than the moment before, because it starts to happen as you take the journey. What you thought were going to be one thing end up being a total blessing. It's just how it goes, little by little by little. This mantra is ideal for adjusting to life after loss, healing heartbreak, and becoming more optimistic, which I think is going to be key here, right? Particularly if you're going to be determined in an optimistic way. I guess you can be determined to be pessimistic too, but that's personal power. Tricky. Rewiring the nervous system. I mean, that's pretty powerful. And considering the amount of power we're actually given here with this, I wouldn't call it a straight up double whammy, but come on, 3 of Wands, 3rd chakra, solar plexus, it does make sense, but the knowledge for fulfillment seems necessary. And what if that's soul knowledge, stuff that's more inside, so that we can what? Level up. That's another way of saying ascension, right? Please don't, no more wheatgrass juice. Please. I'm a salty gay New York witch. Cope. All right, let's put this together in a blessimation, and then we'll talk about cool stuff for drawing the circle and some opportunities if you want to take them. I mentioned them before, but, you know, I have to release this reading somehow, and often I do it in the goofiest, most fun way possible, but you never know. Every day is a winding road. We get a little bit closer. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Beloved pantheons, please override. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine, for us Leo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading, may we be blessed with all that we need to rewire our nervous systems, because we find strength in surviving our traumas, and along with that comes great fulfillment, but from the knowledge of knowing what we're doing even as we're learning how to do it, because we have the magic of the butterfly, and whether we are egg, caterpillar, cocoon, or about to bring our wings out, may we bring on that magic to help us move through our stages of our lives wisely and well as we ascend, if we ask for the help of Archangel Melchizedek to help us on that path, being the best that we can be, the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, wisest versions of ourselves, which one would think would be important, because there is something that we may be chewing on here, an impulse to create, and may it be creative rather than destructive, as we perhaps check our solar plexus, kind of feel what's going on there. We're about to cross an ethical boundary. Maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe it's a traumatic thing, and all we got to do is survive that, and it looks like if we're still breathing, we have, and that will certainly allow us to tune into the solar plexus's power that's already there, already stored like a battery, for us to put into action with determination as we alchemize the advocate, inspiring ourselves and most likely others to put compassion into action, that we may be the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, wisest, most compassionate, loving, and knowledgeable that we can be in the golden timeline of this lifetime, being of service, being of compassion, for our well-being, for the well-being of all that we love. Really, for the well-being of all of life, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So let it be. But it doesn't say that it can't be fun. A little rhyme in there for you. Oh, they stuck that one in. Did you like the video? By all means, hit the thumbs up. I had a good time. I hope you did too. Some good info in there for sure, Z's. You want more? Subscribe. Apparently that's how it's done. I do not know. I am just Witch. And if you want a deeper dive, come check me out on Patreon. We're having so much fun. Really. 7-day free trial. Seeker, which is ordinarily $3 a month. Human, which is ordinarily $5 a month. You get it for 7 days for free, and you can check out what I'm talking about. We're having a really good time. And you would get the daily check-ins, and you would have access to the plethora of part 2s, the extended readings, but the extended discount we're saving for those who actually subscribe, and I think that's fair, don't you? I do try and run a good business that way. So I highly recommend Patreon, really, for anybody. As a creator in particular, it's allowed me as an artist, a mystical artist and an athletic artist, to put my compassion into action for sure. And am I an advocate? Absolutely. In my way and in my time, just not professionally, but you'd be surprised what I get up to off camera. Maybe you wouldn't. So seriously, if you want to come Patreon on Patreon, have at it. But if you want to book me for a private reading or a spiritual counseling session, it's on my website, drawingthecircle.com. In the store, you can click on spiritual counseling or readings. It explains it all for you in writing, but there's a video in the description box, of course there is. Booking private sessions with Mal, which covers spiritual counseling, readings, whether I travel, Zoom record, all the different ways to do it. And it does it in about 10 minutes, and my mom likes it. So we're going to keep it for a year or two and see how it goes, because I'm probably not changing my prices again for another 25 years. We'll see. But regardless, it is my joy, my honor to serve. And honestly, for a shadow read, it's in there, obviously. But come on, Melchizedek, right? I mean, the soul, the butterfly, I think we've got this, but knowledge is key on this one as well. We're close, but not quite yet the cigar. We'll get there, because sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Thank you. Freud, wishing you all the very, very best. You've got this. I believe in you. We can pray for each other, do that mantra and all that jazz. Yeah, hang in there. You got this. Heal, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.